Oh, broken dreamer is your mind. Oh, all the scars let's leave them behind. We light the world up now, let us fire in your eyes. Through the darkness into the night. Oh, broken dreamer is your mind. Oh, all the scars let's leave them behind. We light the world up now, let us fire in your eyes. Through the darkness into the night. Put your fucking hands up.
You say I'm craving hope in this darkness. You say I'm just a joke, just a joke. Shivers my spine so bad. Swimming in the river stakes too much. We try to let go of us, but the truth is what's really no one else.
my love. Whenever you need my love, need my love. Whenever you need my love, need my love. Whenever you need my love, need my love. I'll never let you down. All my life I will be there for you. I'll always be around when you need someone to carry you. If you're looking for someone to hold, I'll be there to pull you close. I'll never let you down. All my life I will be there for you. For you.
Somebody like me. Somebody like me. Wondering how to make a play all night. Looking your way from out of sight. Thinking I should ask if you're doing alright. You weren't easy, so hard to ignore. Pull up on your right. Ask what you're drinking, ask what you like. Said you look good in the dim bar light. So damn cheesy. Who'd have thought you'd fall for somebody like me? When you asked my name, I panicked, so out of my league. And your body was so magnetic. Before I knew it, we talked and I think about you a cocktail. You told me that you've been waiting for somebody like me. Somebody like me. Somebody like me. Took you out and showed you the city. How'd you let somebody so pretty's what they said to me? Yeah, that's what they said to me. Well, they told me I didn't stand a chance, yeah. Face value, had you at a glance, yeah. But nobody ever asked if you could dance, yeah. Well, only one who did that was somebody like me. When you asked my name, I panicked, so out of my league. And your body was so magnetic. Before I knew it, we talked and I think about you a cocktail. You told me that you've been waiting for somebody, somebody like me. You told me that you've been waiting for somebody like me. You told me that you've been waiting for somebody, somebody like me. Like me, somebody like me. When you asked my name, I panicked, so out of my league. Everybody was so magnetic. Before I knew it, we talked and I think about you a cocktail. You told me that you've been waiting for somebody like me.
Listen up, says my teacher. In front of the class, he says if you're not a believer, I'll that's on you. Better shape up and pay your dues. Self-reviews, that's on you. I'll be on a flight soon to Vienna, singing ooh. Gotta know all this propaganda. How do you do? Better get away my own medicine for you. I'm never gonna make them think I'll stand there. For all the things that I've said, breath, like the fire you'll soon remember. I'll be on the fleece until the end. I'm singing, ooh. Drowning all those broke again, but how do you do? For all the things that I've said, pushing me closer to the edge. Hand back drawn, now let loose. Don't mind if I do. For all the things that I've said, pushing me closer to the edge. Hand back drawn, now let loose. Don't mind if I do.
I know I've broken promises. I'm way too good at keeping you from getting in. I've seen exactly how this ends. I never get too close, afraid to lose again. 'Cause I'm thinking back to 17, when I was young and so naive, falling into love like such a fool. Yeah, I was dumb, but she was me. It broke my trust, and honestly, I never wanna feel that hurt again. I'm so done breaking down my walls for someone to break me till I fall apart. Loneliness is not that hard. And I'm over, waiting for a sense of closure, trying to cover up these scars. Won't fix another broken heart. And I'm over, waiting for a sense of closure, trying to cover up these scars. Won't fix another broken heart, heart. Can't help but wonder if it's me. You say I'm too closed off, but maybe we're not meant to be. And I'm afraid of who I've been. The weight of those mistakes I've made won't let me let you in. 'Cause I'm thinking back to 23, when I was drunk, and so was she. Said the words, I love you, for the first time. We felt so fast, we couldn't see. Our story was a tragedy. I never wanna feel that hurt again. I'm so done breaking down my walls for someone to break me till I fall apart. Loneliness is not that hard. And I'm over, waiting for a sense of closure.
to cover up these scars, won't fix another broken heart.
Sleep, yeah. Only miss you when I'm breathing in too deep, yeah. Am I just your little secret? I didn't hear the sirens, I didn't wanna see the warning signs, and now I pay the price, yeah. Oh, I should've known. It hits me like a tidal wave every time you say my name. It hits me like a tidal wave. It hits me like a tidal wave. A tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. Waiting patient on the shoreline. Now you're leaving, but I know you got your reasons too. I didn't hear the sirens, I didn't wanna see the warning signs, and now I pay the price, yeah. Oh, I should've known. It's me like a tidal wave every time you say my name. It hits me like a tidal wave. It hits me like a tidal wave. A tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave. Tidal wave.
It's such a pain to close my eyes. I'm falling in this deep immerse. Would you ever show me
What's the reason behind the commotion? Why do we have to feel emotions? What's the purpose of all this madness? Why do we struggle so much to control them? Every day is I'm missing. Sometimes I feel like I'm trapped in because of my emotions. I can't seem to control them. Every day is a mess when sometimes I feel like I'm trapped in my emotions. I can't seem to control them. My emotions. My emotions. My emotions. My emotions. My because of my emotions. I can't seem to control them. Every day is a mess when sometimes I feel like I'm trapped in my emotions. I can't seem to control them. My emotions. My emotions. My emotions. My emotions. My emotions. My emotions. My emotions.
If I could, I would get myself out this mess. Oh, if I could, I would get myself out this madness. If I could, I would get myself out this mess. Oh, if I could, I would get myself out this mess.
that comes from far away. It's like a noise in my head. Oh, this world heart, this world heart, it cuts you deep and leaves the sky. Oh, this world heart, it cuts you deep and leaves the sky. We need to get out, 'cause things fall apart, and it frees your heart. It's no longer the same. 'Cause things fall apart, and it frees your heart. It's no longer the same. We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. All we need to do is to get out of here. We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. All we need to do, we need to get out of here. Oh, this world heart, it cuts you deep and leaves the sky. Oh, this world heart, it cuts you deep and leaves the sky. We need to get out, 'cause things fall apart, and it frees your heart. It's no longer the same. 'Cause things fall apart, and it frees your heart. It's no longer the same. We need to get off here.
fazer ousia. Essa novinha que tá na bolada gosta de fazer ousia. Você tá em cima da piroca 24 horas por dia. Você levanta por cima da tudo. Essa novinha que tá na bolada gosta de fazer ousia. Fica sentando em cima da piroca 24 horas por dia. Ela te levanta por cima da piroca.